Mga kababayan, ma'am sir, this is Gam, the Filipino channel ang inyong lingkod. So today is April 20.
Which is going po, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No more questions.
Thank you, Honorable Jokno. Now we recognize the Honorable Vice Chairperson Brian Po.
Maraming salamat po.
So today is April 29, 2026. Nandito tayo ngayon sa may
NBI Agent John Mark Calilong. Agent Calilong, lahat ng mga wanted on the record.
Alright, so the headlines provided by the NBI have been submitted. Now it is on our big screen.
Madam Chair, the reason why I bring this up is because this is no ordinary threat. No, this is a threat by the Vice President against the President of the Republic of the Philippines. And people around the world took note of that, questioning our stability and our national security. I remember a case in 2018 of a teacher who had made a similar threat online and was arrested by the PNP. He was not a public official. He was an ordinary Filipino citizen. This committee has to take into consideration that moment, no, in 2018, because we are sending a message with the decision that we make today on probable cause. I would like to thank the resource persons for confirming the statements of the National Security Council, the Philippine National Police, and the President of the Republic of the Philippines. Maraming salamat po.
You mentioned about the video of the teacher. The clip about the teacher.
I mentioned that in 2018 po, there was a teacher who had been arrested for having posted on social media that there...
Do you have a news clip also about that teacher?
I do not believe we have a clip. Do we have a clip of it?
Can we flash again the headlines earlier requested by the Honorable Po? I just want to place on record, Honorable Po, if you wish to read the headlines from the international news platform.
Yes, para na sa record natin. From CBS News, Philippines Vice President publicly threatens to have the nation's president assassinated. CNN World states Philippine Vice President says she would have Marcos assassinated if she is killed. Reuters has Philippines boost security after VP's assassination threat against the president, and the Hindustan Times says the Philippine VP Sara Duterte makes big statement. She says, "If I die," and so on.
Alright, that is for the record. You have other manifestation?
No, Madam Chair, just the fact that this will set precedence on how we deal with matters of national security, and we must take this seriously.
Alright. The Director Melvin Matibag.
Yeah, Madam Chair, just for the record, based on what the Honorable Congressman Brian Po mentioned, we confirm that in 2018 there was a teacher, teacher.
Do you have a news clip of that public school teacher?
We don't have it now, but we can have it authenticated.
For the guidance of the members, Honorable Po is trying to establish the two standards that we are observing with respect to the threat committed by the teacher who was immediately arrested. And a case was filed and convicted, correct?
Di po ma'am, ganito nga po, kaya po ako gusto magsalita. Kasi po, nung panahon na yun, ang umaresto rin po dito kay Ronel May, ang NBI po. NBI din po, siya po inaaresto pagkatapos ng 10 araw na nagbigay siya ng pronouncement na nandun sa social media na kung sino man ang papatay kay dating Pangulong Duterte nung panahon na yun ay magkakaroon ng pabuya na 50 million. At nagkaroon po ng manang, inaresto siya after 10 days na aresto. At to my recollection, lumuhod yung tao na nagmamakaawa na sinabi na hindi naman seryoso, nagbibiro lang. The point is, why are we saying this? Is because we in the law enforcement, the National Bureau of Investigation, we considered all the threat to the President and to any official of the government a serious threat. Hindi po ito pwedeng biro-biro. And yung mga pinakita nga pong video kanina dyan, Yun po ay pinag-aralan at naging parte ng pagdidesisyon ng National Bureau of Investigation para mag-apla ng isang criminal case po kay Vice President Sara Duterte na ngayon ay po ay nakapending sa Department of Justice. So, ang punto nga dyan, kami po ay kumikilos, ang NBI kumikilos, anumang threat, sino man po ang binigyan ng threat. In fact, to my recollection, nang inimbitahan po si Vice President Sara, pero di siyang allegation na may threat sa kanya, we want to pursue it. Pero wala naman po at hindi rin po siya dumalo dun po sa pagpapatawag po ng National Bureau of Investigation.
Alright. Honorable po.
Madam Chair, just to manifest, no? It's important to highlight this because it shows due process. There was a threat, it was investigated, and in the end, he was released naman. Our purpose here is to determine probable cause. It's not to make a final decision on anything. The point here is investigation. If it's found out later on that there was no viable threat, then that's part of what we have to do sa trial. We're not there yet. We're on probable cause. Kaya I bring this up because what happened in 2018 is part of due process. This too is part of due process. Just trying to be fair, Madam Chair.
We know the manifestation of the Honorable po. Any other manifestation from the Director of the NBI?
Gusto ko lang pong dagdagan doon sa sinasabi po ni Honorable Brian po na actually hindi po ito pinawalan ng law enforcement, nagkaroon po ito ng kaso talaga. It so happened na kaya po hindi nagtuloy-tuloy yung kaso, there was a finding of illegal arrest kasi hindi naman siya yung parang naging kuntiyan. Dapat po nag-direct filing ang ginawa nung hinuli, hindi sila pinapasok po sa inquest po. But as to the comment sa process po na dapat pa-reparation standards sa National Bureau of Investigation, we want to make sure na kung ano po yung ginawa ng isang ordinaryong tao at ng mataas na opisyal na parehas po na krimen, ay kailangan po namin habulin at papanagutin po sa ilalim po ng ating batas.
All the comments of the NBI Director are noted by the committee. Let's proceed to our clarificatory questions. We now recognize the Honorable Laila De Lima.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a few clarificatory questions and then a manifestation.
Proceed.
But anyone from the NBI team can respond. Just clarificatory lang po. Based on Annex G attached on your affidavit of investigation, can you confirm that the Bureau, the NBI, issued a subpoena directing VP Sara to appear in the NBI office of the Director on November 29, 2024 to shed light on the investigation of the alleged pay threats? Nagpadala
Yes, ma'am.
ba kayo ng subpoena?
Yes, ma'am. We do confirm, ma'am.
Nagpakita po ba si VP Sara sa NBI noong November 29, 2024 para makipagtulungan sa investigasyon?
Hindi po nag-appear, ma'am, ang Vice Presidente sa schedule na yon ng subpoena namin.
Alam niyo bang dahilan? Meron mo ba siyang pinadalang dahilan kung bakit hindi siya sumipot?
Meron po siyang letter, ma'am, through her counsel. If I may, ma'am, kung pwede ko pong basahin.
Yes, please.
VP Duterte informed the NBI that she will not be able to attend on the scheduled date as she will be attending office matters requiring her urgent attention as a consequence of the ongoing House Representatives Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability's inquiry into the Office of the Vice President and Education's fund utilization. On that same letter, VP Duterte requested for a copy of the complaint.
Okay, so ang sabi po, she's attending to urgent office matter. Yun po ang kanyang dahilan. So hindi niya pagsipot noong November 29, 2024.
Yes, ma'am, base po sa letter na yun.
Based naman po on Annex J of your affidavit of investigation, can you confirm na nag-issue po uli kayo ng subpoena kay VP Sara commanding her to appear on November 11, 2024 before the office of the Director of NBI?
Yes, ma'am, we issued a second subpoena to her, ma'am.
Sumipot po ba siya? Pumunta po ba siya?
Hindi po, ma'am, for the second time. Hindi po nag-appear ang ating Vice Presidente.
Ano naman po ang naging dahilan this time? Second time around, November 11, 2024.
If I may, ma'am, kasi meron hong letter na pinadala through her counsel. Again, the NBI was informed that Bibi Duterte will not appear on the scheduled date and denied having made any threat. Quote, with respect, we must state the obvious that the Honorable Secretary of Justice is the Office Administrative Superior, Head of Agency, and the President's alter ego, while the Honorable Executive Secretary is the President's chief alter ego. Given the facts, you will kindly understand our client's prudence in her cooperation with our office and her desistance from appearing and giving any statement on 11 December 2024. That said, our client vehemently denies having made any threat constituting grave threats under Article 282 of the Revised Penal Code in relation to Section 6 of RA 10175, terrorism and any other punishable acts under Republic Act 11479 or any other crime. Since your office acknowledges that it has access to publicly available material on the internet, we are confident that the content and context of the entire press conferences, subject matter of your investigation will bear this out. Close quote.
Okay, so sinabi nyo na dini-deny
Yes, ma'am.
ni VP Sara ang kanyang mga pagbabanta laban sa Pangulo, sa First Lady at sa former Speaker of the House. Kahit ito mismo threats na ito ay galing na mismo sa kanyang bibig. At kitang-kita natin doon.
Go, Laila, closer to the microphone, please.
Kahit po yung threat mismo ay nanggaling sa kanyang mismong bibig. At kitang-kita po natin sa video.
Based on her letter, ma'am, yes.
Yes. And yung video is na-authenticate ng NBI.
Yes, ma'am.
Hindi yun gawa-gawa lang, hindi yun AI.
Yes, ma'am. We hashed the data, the subject data, meaning the virtual press conference, which was live streamed through social media platform. When we say hashing, we apply a mathematical function.
Sure po, ma'am?
That data.
Diretso po yung tinuturo niya po sa atin.
Hash value.
Malayo pa po.
Ini-explain kanina ng aming
Double check nyo, ma'am. Napaka mali yung ano po, yung book nyo po.
Based on po sa inyong affidavit
Ah.
of investigation, can you confirm na nag-issue
Abida Tower?
ang NBI ng subpoena to some representatives of the media,
Pero sige, pwede naman.
some personalities of the media who
Hindi
attended
po, ma'am. Mali po. Doon po yung
press
Abida Tower.
conference na yan noong November
Ako, sir,
23,
pag kumapit
2024, yung
mas
online
malapit lang.
press con.
Hindi
Yes,
tayo
ma'am.
madadaan.
Ah,
Po natin
akala
na
ko
panggitin ang
dyan.
mga pangalan ng mga media
Dyan yung,
personalities na mga
Pwede lang tayo.
inimbitan
Ito
nyo,
po.
sinampinan nyo. Pero ang pinapakonfirm ko lang po,
Akala ko doon
meron
yung
po kayong
sinasabi
ilan-ilan na mga miyembro ng media na sinampi na rin to shed light on this also because they were present in that virtual or online press conference.
Yes, ma'am. We issued subpoena to at least 6 media personnel, ma'am.
From various media outfits.
From various
Iba-iba
media outfits.
Iko-confirm nyo rin po kasi nabasa ko po yung ibang mga
Alam ko po, pwede po
affidavit
kumapit
nila.
dito.
Ino-confirm nyo rin po na may mga reaction sa kanila. Doon sa ilan-ilan sa kanila tungkol doon sa ang isa nagsabi, I was surprised, shocked nung narinig na yung pagbabanta na yon. Yung VP Sara, I was surprised, shocked, but I kept myself composed. Yung isa naman, ayun, yung parang nagulat siya.
Hindi
Nagulat
pwedeng
daw
kumaliwanag
siya
yun, no?
na gano'n ang naging pahayag nung pagbanta ni VP
Sa
Sara.
kabilang ka.
Meron din isa, sinabi he was shocked when he heard VP Duterte uttered the threatening remarks. So ilan-ilan po sa mga media personalities na ito na inimbitahan nyo o sinabihan nyo, ganun ho yung mga naging reaction nila nung narinig nila mismo yung banta na yon galing sa bibig ni VP Sara.
Yes, ma'am. We confirm that.
Confirmed. So there are affidavits here as part of the annexes of the NBI investigation report.
It's not affidavits, ma'am. It's minutes of interview, ma'am.
Minutes of interview. Ganon yung mga sinabi nilang naging reaction nila.
Opo, ma'am.
Okay. by way of manifestation now, Madam Chair, para sa akin po, itong ground na ito, threats, inciting to sedition,
Tapos, pasok
ito
po
po
tayo
ay
dun sa
isa sa
kotse.
pinakamalakas, kung hindi
Ah, sa kaliwa.
pinakamalakas na ground. Para sa akin po, as the endorser of the Sabali et al. Complaints, sa pagpapasa ko ng records. Yes, lahat po ng grounds for impeachment raised against the VP are serious. But more than the other grounds, ito pong ground na ito, the threats, is one of the most important
Drop off po.
things that it gives
Ito
us
daw.
an insight
Hindi
into
lang
the
ng
true
ID mo.
character and moral fiber of the VP. Sa pagkakataong yun, maaga pa lang ay nakita na ng buong sambayan ng Pilipino ang tunay na karakter at pagkatao ni VP Sara. Never before in the entire history of the world has a sitting vice president threatened to kill the president and his wife on live streaming video for the whole Filipino nation and even the world to watch. It finally reveals Sara Duterte at her most transparent and unfiltered moment. And para sa akin po, this is not an aberrant attitude of a Duterte. In fact, it is their trademark character. Just recently, yung kapatid nga niya po, si Mayor Baste, said that all he wants is the head of the president, nothing more, and then the Duterte family will be satisfied. This to me, ang pagbasa ko po dito, hindi naman po ako psychologist, psychiatrist, pero sa aking obserbasyon, this is a clear pattern running along all of the Duterte children. They're all cut from the same cloth and woven from the same fabric as their father, who is now facing 3 charges of crimes against humanity before the ICC for the murder of thousands of Filipino civilians, all citizens he was sworn to protect. So may history of violence, may proclivity, may tendency to violence ang pamilya kung yan. Mayor Baste also showed us that the Duterte family is capable of bringing back the bloodshed instigated by their father, as he attempted to do so immediately at the start of his first
Sige
term
po.
as Davao City Mayor in 2022, with the killing of 7 alleged
Yes, sir.
criminals
Thank
in
you.
Davao City. Fortunately, his attempt to bring back the Davao Death Squad was immediately put to a stop by the PNP when the leadership of the whole Davao Police Force was revealed. The Davao City Police was no longer the Davao Death Squad that the children grew up with and got used to running their errands, including the occasional execution of enemies, as attested to by DDS leader Arturo Las Cañas. Mayor Basta's failed revival of the DDS is also just a poor copy of his sister's record in the EJK business. According to Las Cañas, then Mayor Sara together with the then City Police Chief and now Senator at Large Bato de la Rosa were the ones to come up with Oplan Tokhan as an operation modus of the DDS. Marami pong sinabi si Las Cañas sa kakayahan ni VP Sara na maging katulad
Ayan,
ng
so
kanyang
na-drop na natin
tatay.
sila.
Kaya nung sinabi,
Maraming salamat po
ni VP
sa
Sara na
panonood.
kumuha na
Hanggang
siya
sa
ng
muli po.
hitman para patayin
God
ang
bless.
first
Paalam po.
couple